I've generated over $7 million from email marketing for these e-commerce brands. And in this video, we're going to be going over the 3 must-have email flows that should really be inside of every single Klaviyo account. The problem is, whenever I audit these brands, these e-commerce brands, most are either completely missing these 3 key flows, or they have it set up, but they're just set up the wrong way. It's not in depth enough. The strategy is just completely wrong. And it's potentially costing you, watching this right now, thousands and thousands of dollars every single day, week, month, and year. So in this video, we're going to be going through everything, its purpose, some advanced strategies that I would recommend, some email examples that you can literally just copy and paste, take some design elements, paste it into your own flows, all of the good stuff. Let's get straight into it. If you don't know me, my name's Kieran. Like I said, generated over $7 million, working with some of the top 7 and 8 figure e-commerce brands in the world. And we've done the calculations. I've sent over 22 million emails in total. And if you want to check out my social media, they should be all linked in the description. Here's some results, just if you didn't believe me. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So again, these 3 flows are, like I said, very non-negotiable. They actually make up a significant portion of revenue compared to the other flows that you may build out in the future. So you really want to focus most of your efforts on these key 3 because it really builds out a really holistic funnel and converting people from people that barely even know you into long-term buyers. So let's break them down. The first flow, and one of the most profitable ones that generates the most amount of money, is the welcome flow. So this is always going to be the biggest flow inside of every e-commerce account because this is all the customers that sign up to your pop-up. So what is the actual purpose of this flow? Well, it converts leads that barely know you from your paid organic traffic into first-time buyers using some type of incentive, some type of welcome offer. So the purpose of this is to really decrease the sales cycle of a new prospect from when they first see you, they first see your ad on Instagram or wherever, until they are ready to make that first purchase. Without a welcome flow, you run into a lot of problems, having a lot of customers semi-interested, they kind of like you, but it may take weeks until they actually convert into a customer, or they could get stolen from a competitor that does have a better welcome flow in place. So you can kind of see here in this diagram, someone signs up and then they'll get nurtured through your welcome flow emails that cover everything about your brand. And then the more times they see you, the more bigger you increase your brand awareness. And eventually that nurtures them into a first-time purchase. So going over the customer awareness level, again, at this point, they've starting to enter the welcome flow, they're just getting to know you. So they may be problem aware, they may know they have a problem, but they're not exactly sure if your store and your product is the best choice for them. So they've shown initial interest by signing up, but they're very likely right now still comparing options, they're shopping around, they're browsing, they're looking at competitors to see who has a better deal. Trust hasn't been fully earned. They need education, validation, and social proof before they feel confident about buying. If they signed up a few days ago, it's very reasonable to assume that they have forgotten about the welcome offer that they first signed up for. So a lot of people will convert straight away with that welcome offer, but a fair portion, the majority of people will sign up and not make a purchase until another few days, weeks, potentially even months. So reminding them about this discount code and the welcome flow is key. So yeah, they're very curious and open, but they're not fully committed yet to making that purchase. So the welcome flow is really just increasing confidence and reducing friction in terms of sending them an email and a link back to your website with that welcome offer. So you can imagine some people in this stage are just thinking like, hey, will this product even fix my problem that I have? Is there a better deal somewhere else? I'm looking at other competitors. Oh, they got this at this price, but this store doesn't do this. Is this brand even legit? There's a lot of scams out there these days, especially with dropshipping stores and stuff like that. run by just just kids. So obviously people are wary of that. The average person these days kind of knows what dropshipping is. So they are like, it's a legitimate question. Like, is this brand even legit? Is anyone else buying their product? That's where the social proof comes in. Core objectives on the welcome flow. It's to increase brand awareness and increase your brand in like a positive light. Educate them about your product, your brand, your mission, your values, and simply just remind them about that welcome offer that they originally signed up for. Again, they've shown interest. They wanted that 10% off or the 15% off or the buy one, get one free. So they are interested. Now you just got to remind them if they still haven't purchased. This is what the welcome flow does, essentially. So some key strategies that you can get some results that go up exponentially like that. First, some of the key strategies is in that very first welcome email that you send. So imagine someone's just landed on your website, they've signed up to your pop-up, and then that first email should automatically send straight away. So again, you got to remember, like, there's a small portion of people that are very high intent. They're already sold. Maybe they have been nurtured a ton by all the ads that they've seen. So with this first welcome email, you really want to make clear the discount code and have a button right at the very top of the email. So especially if you're hiding your discount code away from the pop-up because you want to promote more people to open up that first email, you want to make the code right there at the very top of the email. So it's very, very frictionless for the customer to exit off your website after they signed up, find this email and find the code and click the button to go back now that they know the code to make their first purchase. So don't make them dig for it. Again, you just got to, it's just the reality. Like, a lot of people, don't really care about your brand or mission just yet, especially if they're really high intent. They just want the product. They just want the discount. So just try and make it as easy as possible for them to buy. That's why I usually say, like, save your brand story mission to the second or third email where customers who still haven't bought yet may need some nurturing. So that's where you bring in some of the value-based emails. Educate without overwhelming. So again, a lot of people make the mistake of that first welcome email just having way too much information. You really just want to give them the discount code and get them to make their first purchase. Again, if you're a brand that has a lot of backstory, unique selling propositions, social proof, you want to spread out all that content over at least 5, 6, 8, maybe even 10 emails long in this welcome flow. Again, you want to make this information easy to digest, so no long paragraphs or anything like that, just simple, short, and concise, and readable. And again, with these multiple emails, that's also good to do because you're increasing the customer touch points. You're increasing the brand awareness that this new customer has with your brand. So instead of spending all this money on retargeting ads, you're sending, at least in comparison, cheaper marketing via email marketing. And every CTA button that you have clear CTA buttons, but more importantly, just remind them about that discount code. So you may be doing an email, maybe the fourth email in the welcome flow, you're talking about a lot of social proof. The button in that email, you still want to have under the button like a little reminder, hey, by the way, your 10% off is waiting. Use code WELCOME10. Here is some examples you can copy that I would say convert pretty well. And my reasoning for that is they have a nice clear header right at the top, like we were talking about, and they give away the code right at the top as well. So again, if people simply just want to open up the email, get the code, go back and make a purchase, you're making it very easy for those customers. Shop 15% off, shop 10% off. Sure, as they scroll down, you can give a little bit of information here, maybe like a paragraph or two, and then just showcase some other products. So, second key flow that is, again, non-negotiable in every Klaviyo account is the abandon cart flow. This is where a lot of customers drop off, and it's increasingly getting higher every year. I think it's around 70-80% of people that add something to the cart never actually check out, or at least abandoned their checkout or cart. So again, the purpose of this flow is to bring customers back who are this close to buying. These are some of the warmest leads in your funnel because they've already browsed a product. They've already picked out what they want. They're clearly interested. The only thing missing is a final little nudge. So this flow really works to re-engage those customers, get them back onto the website. Yeah, just literally just bring them back to where they left off and remove any friction that caused them to abandon in the first place. Now it is worth noting, because they are in the most aware stage, it's less likely that you need to explain how the product works, and it's more likely that it's one of these 4 problems, which is either something with, maybe they had a payment issue at checkout, and that caused a lot of friction. A lot of people simply it's just bad timing. They got distracted. The kid vomited on the carpet. They need to go clean that up, and then they completely forget about their purchase. Maybe it's the shipping cost. That's another big reason as well. They get to the checkout, they're all hyped, and then they see a $20 shipping cost, and they're just like, what? And then another reason is, especially for clothing stores, maybe they're just unsure about the refund policy, and they're not sure of how easy it is to actually return something if something doesn't fit, or if something isn't as expected. So the core objectives here with the abandoned cart flow is, of course, to recover that lost revenue from high intent shoppers that just didn't convert, and remind them about what they were about to buy and why they wanted it, and rebuild that urgency to come back and help them finish what they started. So again, with these 4 objections, the 4 common objections, here's kind of how you want to handle it. So with payment issues, you want to make it very obvious that you have Klarna, ShopPay, Afterpay, Apple Pay, all these paying for installments. Just make that very clear in your emails, because some people literally just won't check out. Maybe they're waiting for another checkout, another paycheck by the end of the week to make this purchase. That's just the reality for some people. So you want to make this option very available, clear in your emails. Some people not sure about the refund policy. So here, a lot of people have a really great money back guarantee, but it's usually just hidden in the website. You'll say it in just the footer or the top banner, but you really want to make a big point about it in your emails. The 30-day money back guarantee, or the 60-day money back guarantee. You also want to make clear to these customers just how silky smooth your refund policy is, which I hope it is for a respectable e-commerce store. But assuming that you do, you want to make that clear. You want to make that another selling point for these people. And you may even want to make that a dedicated email talking about that. People that literally just got distracted, again, this is going to be a lot of people that buy in the first 1, 2, 3 emails. And it's as simple as just sending those emails out, right? Increasing those customer touch points. And a really good thing to do here is always, or at least for most of your emails, show the abandoned product above the fold of the email. Simply just to remind them about what they were shopping and what they added to cart. And lastly, the shipping cost. So if you, like most stores, have a X dollar amount shipping threshold, maybe free shipping over $99, then you want to split customers up in this flow for whether if they do or do not qualify for that free shipping. If they do, these emails on this side, you want to make very clear, hey, your cart has free shipping. Free shipping has applied to your cart. That's just another big selling point that you can come across, especially in those first couple emails, reminding that customer. Before you want to give out another discount if they still haven't converted by the 5th or 6th or 7th email. So some key strategies here is you always want to send the first email fairly quickly. After a lot of A/B testing, I can confidently say that 30 minutes is the best. Again, this is so that the product is still top of mind. So if they did get distracted by something, by a 10 or 15 minute task, this email comes back and gets them back on the track. You want to feature the exact product that they left behind. Again, you want to put that above the fold and just instantly remind those people about what they were shopping for. Weave in some social proof, and more specifically, social proof praising how good the shipping is, how good the easy return process is, and how good it was dealing with customer support if they did have problems come up. Which, again, just in the reality of things, that happens a lot in e-commerce. So if you have a good support team and your reviews support that, then that's a really good thing to add in. Again, especially if you're a clothing brand or a really high AOV store selling expensive items, customer support and service is a really big thing. Now, there's also trust building elements that you want to include in these emails. So again, your guarantees, common FAQs, your return policy like we've talked about, support contact and stuff. So again, too many e-commerce brands kind of hide this away on their website, but especially for the abandoned cart flow, you want to make this super clear and transparent. Bonus points if you have a button at the bottom of your email to take people directly to customer support, because they may just have an itching question that's just stopping them from making a purchase. If you have a little button down there like, hey, do you have a question? Click here for support. Just removes that friction of them having to search your name up, find your contact us page, and then go through it. Another key strategy, urgency. Urgency sells. Things like items are selling fast, your cart will expire soon, work especially well on email marketing, because you've got to get those people to take the click on the email and push the sale forward. Towards the end of the flow, you really want to get a bit more urgent with your messaging. If you're building out a 5, 6, 7 step email flow for this one, those last 2 to 3 emails, you do want to be giving away some type of incentive. Like we generally see a lot of purchases on the first couple emails, and it drops off in the third or fourth. And when you put this incentive in, it brings it right back up. So it's always good to do. Don't give away a discount too early in the flow. Otherwise, you could actually be losing a bit of margin for people that simply just got distracted and would have bought anyway after a few reminder emails. Plain text emails from the founder. It's always good, especially for the very last email in the flow when you're reminding them and being a bit urgent with the incentive. It's a bit more genuine. It decreases their sales guard because it's plain text. It's like almost like you're personally reaching out to them. And for that reason, they're a bit more open to what you have to say. Again, these plain text emails as the very last email in your flow, just reminding them. Again, we see quite a bit of jump here with the revenue, the click rate, all that good stuff. So definitely add in some plain text emails. Here's some good examples. Again, have a big header. Ideally, you want this abandoned product above the fold. Like for this email in the middle here, this would be the very first email. Because the very first email, you just want to make it super, super simple. You just want to remind the customer and redirect them back to the website. Here, we're just building confidence again. Why choose us? Again, we're talking about the fast 1 to 3 day shipping as well, because a lot of people value that. And this email, we're talking about a lot of social proof. And here's like the contact us button, by the way. You always want to include contact our team for support. Or here's another good button. See our full FAQs here. That's another one. Take customers through your FAQ page so they can answer any objections that they have themselves. The third key flow that you must have in your email system is the post-purchase flow. Now, these may not be as big as a revenue generator as maybe the abandoned browse flow, for example, but to build a holistic system, this is very, very much key, because you're saying a genuine thank you to your new customers and you're actually setting them up to come back and purchase again. So the purpose of this flow is, again, make that big genuine thank you, set the stage for repeat purchases, and make them have the best possible experience with the product. And you can do that by building hype and excitement while they wait for their new order through educational emails on like how-to guides and things like that. As you can see here from this diagram, someone orders a product, customer is now having to wait for the order, and maybe they might reflect, was that the best decision? Post-purchase email nurtures this customer with a big thank you, how-to guides, what to expect emails, and overall customer has a great experience, somewhat contributing to some of those emails that they read. So the customer awareness level, obviously they've just bought, so the most aware at the buy stage. They've already converted, but that doesn't mean your job is done just yet. Some may feel a bit of buyer's remorse or uncertainty now that they've just clicked the checkout button. And because they're having to wait for this product to arrive at their house, they're in a bit of a vulnerable position. Like they don't have the product in their hands just yet, and they're just giving you money, and now they're just waiting. But some of the things like people might be wondering or thinking about in this stage, like, hey, this order better arrive on time. I got something that's coming up that I need this product for. I just realized I don't even know how to use the thing or how to even set this up correctly. So again, that's product specific in what you're selling. I haven't heard from this brand since I ordered. Was this the right decision? Did they just scam me? Like I'm not getting any updates. So this is all things that people could be thinking if you don't have a really good post-purchase flow in place. So some core objectives here is obviously to reassure and thank the customer for the purchase, reduce that buyer's remorse, set expectations on what comes next, like how long is the shipping going to take depending on where they live. That's a big one. Educate them how to use or how to get the most out of their product. Again, so when the product arrives, they have the best possible experience. Open the door for future purchases and just strengthen that brand relationship, that customer to brand relationship to boost retention and long-term customer value. It's sweet, already know how to get the most out of an order and have a great time. That's kind of what you want the customers to be thinking. So some key strategies here is, again, with this thank you email, you want to make it personalized to the fact on whether it's their first purchase, second purchase, or third plus purchase. You don't want to just have that boring, basic confirmation email from Shopify to send out. You do want to go out of your way and create a separate thank you email as well. Not many e-commerce brands do this, and you can easily separate yourself from a forgettable store by showing people that you actually care about their order. And again, once you set this up, it sends automatically. So it's a good thing to do. Again, like we've said, we want to share some product education, care tips, and setup instructions if relevant. Because if you think about it, most of your negative reviews come from poor expectations. So for example, because I thought it would be really good to put some examples here, just so you can really visualize it. If you're a meal delivery service who sells people on a diet to lose weight, then in this post-purchase flow, you want to educate these customers on how to diet correctly, following a diet plan you've built in accordance with the meal packages you provide. Another good example is portable ice baths. So if you're currently shipping out this portable ice bath to this new customer that's just bought it, you want to link them like a setup tutorial video before they're expected to have that order arrive. This way, you can decrease the amount of people who potentially may end up confused or frustrated by such a lengthy setup. Another random example is life jackets or something like that. Again, you want to educate these people on how to properly fit their new life jacket, how it should feel when wearing it, and what else to expect. So again, this was actually a real life thing that we did with the brand, because they were having a lot of returns, but it was because people just didn't understand that this is how the life jacket is actually supposed to fit and feel. So again, this post-purchase code can decrease the amount of potential returns from customers who simply just don't know any better, because not everyone's buying a life jacket every day. Some other key strategies is including estimated delivery times and tracking info. Customers love to be updated and kept in the loop. Again, this is kind of like even just sending a reminder builds some hype and excitement. So you can build a lot of trust here simply just by sending out those reminders and keeping them updated. In this time, it's also really smart to promote your social media, while they're waiting for the order. As you can imagine, they're opening up every email for an update. So if you want to link them to your social media, now's the perfect time. So now if they follow your social media, not only are you appearing in their email inbox, but also in their Instagram feed, TikTok feed, Facebook feed. And again, just creates that holistic system where they see your brand everywhere, increases that awareness. And again, you still want to include customer support. A lot of customers can make mistakes at the checkout with maybe the wrong info, order sizes, shipping addresses, and whatnot. So make this easily accessible customer support link in all emails just to save a lot of customer frustration. Again, it's just kind of like a friction thing. You don't want to make an angry customer more angry by not giving clear customer support links. Here's some good examples as well. This is like a thank you email. This is the last plan you'll ever need. This is a cap. This is a social media email where you're just promoting them to join you on Facebook. And this email is kind of like a care tip or how-to guide on how to best care for your item that you've just bought as well. So finally, how do all these flows work together to create that holistic system that I've been talking about this entire video? Well, if you think about the paid ads that you're driving or the organic traffic that you're driving to the website, the pop-up and then welcome flow capture those leads, nurtures them into adding something to the checkout. And if they abandon that, then the abandoned cart and checkout brings them back to finish and hopefully complete that order. Once they do buy, the post-purchase flow that we talked about strengthens that trust and sets them up for the next sale to come back again and again. So as you can kind of see, it creates like a full funnel system that supports and maximizes all that money you're pouring into paid ads. Some other flows that you would also be wanting to look at after you set these 3 key flows up would be the abandoned site, which nudges low intent customers that simply just land on your website before leaving. Next one would definitely be the abandoned browse. Again, it's kind of like the same as the abandoned cart and abandoned checkout email, but it's just for people that view a particular item before leaving the website. Customer win back, that sends emails and potentially tries to upsell past customers, like people that already bought with a strong offer, especially if they haven't bought in the last like 3-4 months. Sunset unengaged flow that tries to re-engage some inactive profiles that haven't been opening up your emails. And there's a ton more flows, a bit more smaller, a bit less important, that don't generate as much revenue. But if you did want to look at a video that goes over all 14 flows, then I'd highly recommend looking at this tutorial here. I go through each flow in depth, show you a high converting email structure. And yeah, I think you'll get a lot of value from that if you wanted to watch that. But thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you found this valuable. And if you're an e-commerce brand wanting to work with me, we do free audits, so that'll be the first link in the description. Cheers, guys, and have a good one.